What that guan?
What does that mean?
I don't
that
know.
basically means what's
Bumble
going
clot.
on.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, okay.
Bumble clot.
Shout out to all the Jamaicans and Belizeans. Okay.
Shout out to Zeke. That was Reggae Romance.
That was
We'll have to
dope,
let it
Zeke.
cook a little bit. I almost wanna bring it
Isaiah.
back a little
Shout
bit.
out to
I know.
Zeke. That was a banger.
We like that.
Vibe it out a little bit longer next time.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
We had a
Such little
vibe.
teaser, yeah.
I had a vibe.
Shout out to Zeke, who's been doing music forever and a day. You can catch him on a lot of Dom's earlier stuff, Nip stuff, and has been writing in writing rooms and all kind of stuff for a really long time by way of Philly, I think, and LA a little bit too. But yeah, Zeke's been grinding for a long time.
Hey Zeke, you are our shout out for the day episode. Ooh,
Oh, here we go.
Episode
16. I think that could be a lie.
It might be a lie, bitch. I don't know. I'm
Sweet
sorry.
16. We should have something sweet 16.
Or 15.
No,
I don't know.
16.
I remember that
It's
show.
16.
Trio Podcast. I'm Christian.
I'm Fallon.
Milky.
And we are the trio. And we are here another week. Consistency.
Yeah.
Sort of. No, I'm joking.
We took a bye week. We had a bye week.
Because
I was one man down.
Christian got the jab.
son.
That's why Christian got jabbed. So she has to recover. We wanted to make sure
Yeah,
that she was
I
in good health.
I was one man down.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was, and that vax ain't no joke. I mean, everybody has their different experiences with it and go through different things. But I wasn't even really. I only experienced the
lethargicness.
Yes.
Yeah. You just down a little bit.
Yeah.
I was sleepy. I felt like I got like in a real bad fight and got beat the fuck up.
Which is the same when you get the flu shot.
Yeah, but I never had a flu shot.
Or a lot of any other vaccinations and stuff like. Oh, you okay?
I've
well,
never
a
had
lot
a
of
flu
other
shot. That's why I
vaccinations
was
like
kind of
that.
like really nervous about this vaccine. Because I've never had a flu shot, so I never experienced what that was.
Pop locking on through your body.
I had a flu shot like when they first
The medication and shit
them.
for real, like jugging through my body. I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Right.
But if you think about it, that's normal because like when you take a baby, that's why most parents now, the non-vaccine patients,
Non-vaxxers,
not them, but most parents now space out their kids' vaccines over time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you notice, like when your child get vaccinated, they're probably run a little fever the next day. Like their body is,
Trying to
it's
adjust.
right.
Because it's a foreign thing.
substance in their body. So
Yeah.
that's the same way this situation works. But
Yeah.
check the CDC for information. Do not depend on
We ain't getting into that shit.
CDC.gov and shit.
We for sure not getting into that.
all
You
your
depends on your
situation.
situation.
So whether you do
That's
it or
on
not,
you.
that's your own personal decision.
Right.
Yeah.
However, they are treating this like a class system. Like the non-vax cannot come have fun. You see what they're doing. Now I'll leave it there. I was in Vegas and they had a whole day party and it was like vaccinated people only or something like that. Like they were real starting to separate it. New York already started the like indoor
heard that.
dining for
Though.
vaccinated individuals
I heard
already.
that.
That's just a way to get
OD.
you to do something.
Yeah.
Like if we want you to do it, we're going to find a way to get you
With
to do it.
traveling, with concerts, with restaurants.
Honey, I came back from Atlanta. They were like, excuse me, you must register and say that you were out of the state. I'm like, excuse me? They're like, if not, it was like some dumb fine of like 5 racks or 2. Or 200, something like that.
I heard that they are considering charging employees of different companies a monthly fee or a deduction out of their check if you're not vaccinated
Yeah, we're
because
not
you're
playing
a
them
risk
type of games.
because you're a risk to the environment.
tell
We're
you.
not playing them type of games.
I'm like, them white people is
let me
not
tell you,
going for that.
my
We're not
agency-
playing
LA,
that
the
game.
California white people is not going for that.
My agency literally just implemented fucking a weekly vaccine, a weekly
COVID test.
COVID test.
Same here.
Yeah.
But
Same
it's
here.
fucked up. I'm like, y'all gonna make people get tested every fucking week on
Yes,
this nasal
it's an
thing.
inconvenience.
That's why it's going to push you to do it. And the people who don't have to do it are the people who are vaccinated, as if they don't run the risk of
I was
still
COVID
passing
tested
it.
on Friday. I missed the appointment. Had to go Saturday, and I have to get tested again on Friday.
Right, and it's an inconvenience,
That shit is so
but
out
it's
of
just a way to
control.
make you do it. Granted, you can, if you have it, you can still pass it on, vaccinated or not. The
sure.
transmission rates are a lot lower, so that's what people are banking on. But you still can do it.
Right.
That's
So
a
now
numbers
they're
thing.
inconveniencing
Yeah.
people to get vaccinated once a week at work on a Thursday. That's dumb.
Tested once a week.
Yes,
Test
I'm sorry.
once-
Tested once a week on a
Right.
Thursday.
Yeah. Well, at schools, they doing it too.
That's so silly.
So, for Yuri to go to school every single week, she has to have and they do on-site testing or whatever, which is fine. But, if not, you have the option to go off-site and it has to be uploaded into, like, a document online or something. Like, fuck, shit's crazy, man.
They're making you do too much. Close it down.
Yeah, just shut it down.
Shut us down. I'm cool
Summer
with
is
that.
over. We cool with that shit.
Right.
We don't give a fuck about that. We can
At
save
this
our money,
point.
blow it on Christmas.
Shut us
And this
down.
summer did not give what it was supposed to. We was
It
waiting
re-
for it just for it to be a
Right.
remix of last
Oh
year.
my God, it's the end of August, damn near.
Yeah,
it's
we're 2
over.
weeks out.
We missed that
It's
function.
over.
That function.
It did not happen. Like, I'm
No,
sorry.
the function that they had, the LA function.
Oh,
Is it over? There's no more?
I don't know, but the two that they've had, we've missed.
Right, that's true.
Maybe it's the reason why. I don't know.
Because people don't like to pay it forward. We talked about this, Fallon. People are gatekeepers of information. They are like groupies with the title. That's what we call them. Groupies with the title.
Around the line and
Oh,
around
yeah,
the corner.
see, that's completely
no, that's what we're not
out.
doing.
Let me tell you, once like I did College Hill and me and Mookie started going out, you was in Seattle at that time, so you was already on tour buses and doing whatever you was doing out there.
Right.
When me and Mookie was out here going to club, we didn't wait no lines.
Yeah.
And then right after that was Camila run. Like we don't do lines.
So it's like we got introduced to clubs really like spoiled.
Right.
We didn't really start going to club the typical way of just you turn 21 and you go outside. It
Right.
was like
Paying your $20 to get in.
We started at the invite
Mm-hmm.
only, so it was kind of hard to go back. But it's weird because when I was partying in Atlanta, it was the complete opposite. Like
There's no
that
VIP
line was
bougie shit.
down the street and around the fucking
Absolutely.
corner.
And they was moving them
to get in.
Absolutely.
They will know because they get in free. So it's like, as long as you sit in this line, you can get in for free.
right.
But you could pay $20 and cut the line to get in.
Which I would do.
Here, please.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Right.
You know what I mean? However, this line was guaranteed admission.
We didn't think so.
Guaranteed entrance.
That's
rather.
a whole other conversation with these club promoters and shit. I do have something against some of these club promoters. I've had
I
some
do.
really good relationships with some, and
some
some
really
have
bad.
acted so fucking crazy. And it's LA, so it is a thing, this elitist type, situation. But that's like a whole nother kind of. I will say it was one time we went to the club. We went to Mike Smooth function. Was I with you or with you?
I don't know, but
Okay,
I remember the night we
describe the
met Mike
scenario.
Smooth.
Describe-
We
describe
had
the
to wait
night.
out in line, and we kind of after a while we was like, oh my god, and this is okay. No shade, Mike Smooth. Okay, no shade, no tea. Okay, but
What's the story?
we was like in Santa Monica. We wasn't even in
We
Hollywood.
were together. Yes.
And we were standing outside. We like, okay, where are we standing outside again? Like, oh my god, I think we left. Like, I'm embarrassed. Like, this is too much. Like,
we did. It was like
this is ridiculous. Like,
Y'all didn't even get in. I mean,
I don't think we got in.
Oh my god!
And it was like
because it wasn't even like that type of
It
time
wasn't
to be
giving
waiting
to be
for
standing
anything.
to be
outside.
standing
No.
outside,
It's Santa
no shade, no
Monica.
tea, Mike Smooth. Like, cause not on your DJ shit, but just like the event itself, it was definitely the older crowd. It was just kind of like,
What, Chris, you remember because you were supposed to host this party, didn't go?
and then show.
Oh my god!
It was a couple of those.
It
It was a couple of.
This was back in the day.
That was her modeling
We didn't go,
years
right?
and shit.
Her modeling
Get out there.
days.
Yes.
I had a couple of those though, all on the flyer advertising that shit and didn't ever show up.
Janky.
No, nobody really knew, but at the
Yeah.
time, because they was getting over, because they should have been paying. They
Right.
should have
Should've
been. Niggas were supposed to be paying. When you learn how much they was getting the bags for these walkthroughs,
I was about to say comping, but they should have been paying too. It should have
Yeah.
been both.
right?
It should have
Like
been
you should.
comping
How
and
much was
paying.
your rate going tonight?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To have some fun, because when you start hearing about the numbers that people was charging,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
them walkthroughs, like
And y'all making enough money to pay.
oh for sure,
Give me bitch
Easily.
1,000. Like
Right,
just
a
come
stack
through,
is
just give me a
easy.
little 1,000 to come through.
To come through with my friends, we're gonna turn this bitch up. It's gonna look good.
If you want me to come.
Yeah, because
Right.
some people upward. I mean, on the low end, it was $2,500, and I'm like, look, every weekend, calculate the math.
And you
like,
know that
for a
from
day.
And you
too,
can
'cause
live
Mila
off of
was
that.
getting booked.
Right,
You
right.
can live off of that. If somebody's
for
giving you
sure.
$2,500 for once a week,
Yes.
yeah, that's what 10 bands a month.
Yes. That's why I
I'll
refuse
take
to
it.
not get paid during the social media era. Because
Right.
it's going to close at some point. But
Right.
excuse me, I'm trying to get through before the doors
Girl.
close you out.
Exactly.
Right.
Box you
I'm
in.
just
and
saying,
shit.
right. Fuck that.
Speaking of Camila, we celebrated Camila
We
this
sure
past
my
did.
weekend.
God, here's a
Yes.
souvenir.
Congratulations to her and Aunt.
That was so
Love
dope.
is Bella Moore. So the baby name obviously is Beautiful Love.
That's
I
beautiful.
thought that was
Here's
so
a little
dope.
trinket if you guys can get a
Hey.
party favor.
The cup or the
cup.
Oh, I didn't even see it. Green. I got
Yeah,
my
it
glasses
was
on.
Oh
was
my
the,
God.
Life is. Oh, that is beautiful.
Produced by Anthony and Camila. Yeah, because it was like a party release type of
Exactly.
thing. So it was like a album release party that we attended.
And Ro did an amazing job hosting.
She
Shout
did.
out
She's so cute.
Roski. Oh my
Rose
God.
so cute.
I don't think I wish I knew her Instagram handle, but she is really
OG
good.
Ro, right?
Oh, is
You know
that OG Ro?
some
OG
twins,
underscore
too.
Ro.
Well, go ahead. I'll tell you about the twins.
We'll insert it.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead.
The twins, like T and
Ron.
Tamara, I've always been able to tell apart. There are certain twins that I don't know.
Like between
who's
her and
who
Janae,
between Ro and
yeah,
Janae.
they're like identical.
I was like,
yeah.
Well, let me tell you. So I met Ro first, right? So I don't even think I knew she had a twin at the time because she and Camila used to work together.
Right.
So I picked him up from the airport once, and then like maybe then the next week I went to Camila's house. I walked in and I just saw a face that I recognized, so I went over there and hugged them. But it was Janae. And then I looked over and I saw Ro, and I was like, "Wait, the fuck?" and then I was like, "Oh, yeah, it's my twin." And I'm like, "Oh,
That's something that
okay."
you
They probably
mentioned.
like,
Right.
yeah, they
Right.
look identical.
No, they're sweet.
Beautiful.
I only
girls.
knew who was who once one had a baby. At that point, that was the
Oh, I
only
love
way
that.
I
And
knew
I'm
how
sure
that
their
was.
personalities are complete. Well, I've kicked it with them a little bit, but are completely different.
No, they're kind of the same.
Are they?
Yeah.
Well, that's even crazier because typically,
Yeah.
like, one
They're
is like,
opposite.
you know.
They're kind of like Tina Tamara. Their
Yeah.
personality. No.
You see
Ro is married. Well, they're both in a relationship, so
Yeah.
they're both kind of down now. But
Oh.
I mean, not now because they've been in a relationship for a long time. So yeah.
Who was it?
you mean
Like, whose kids
I
is
was
these?
about to- that was Ro. That was Ro saying about her kids.
Christian, right?
Christopher. Yes.
Is that just Janae?
No, that's Ro's son.
Okay, wait. So Ro has
2
Christian
kids.
and then the new baby.
No, that is the new baby.
No,
Wait, I'm
so
confused. So Christian-
Ro has
2.
Christian and the other little girl, and then
Bailey. She has 2 kids.
Bailey.
And then Janae has Josh.
has the little
Got
baby.
it. Got it. Okay.
The baby girl.
Right. So yeah, they're a lot of fun. Like
Yeah.
I really, this is one little like please, like but they
The
like
spirit is that.
So we decided to try to get an out of town trip cracking like February of next year.
Oh.
Camila would have had the baby by then. We'll be 5 months out. So we're trying to like plan
Include
like
me.
Include me. Tap
it's gonna be
me
some
in.
fun.
Oh.
Yeah, y'all do have fun though.
We do.
Tell y'all out. Interesting. Well, again, shout out.
Well, shout out to Camila. Yeah.
Camila and Anthony expecting. When is the
Yes.
due date again?
September 2nd or 3rd.
Virgo and Virgo.
Yes.
I'm so happy that she found love, and I'm
Yes,
so
I
happy
agree.
that after everything that she had been through, that she prevailed, and in such a way where it's kind of just like, I mean, everything has 360. She, y'all can go to her Instagram and check it out.
Exactly.
But she definitely has progressed and evolved, and it's a family thing at this point. And a lot of people that was hating and hoping to continue on the beef and the, controversy.
Because people live off of that shit.
It's over. Like,
We're not
she's
doing
thriving.
that. We're not doing no more stress. Ain't no more anxiety behind that shit. She found a great man that loves her. That's gonna take care of her and her kids
And the baby.
Yeah,
Girl.
Right. And
So-
then like they've known each other before. So it's not even like a new person. It's just
Exactly.
kind of like you probably grew up with your soulmate and just didn't even
And
know.
just never knew.
Like, you don't know yet. You know what I mean?
That's
So that's
so
like
true.
the
That's
interesting
deep.
fact. And he's
Where's
a
mine?
really good guy.
Ah.
I mean, like even in conversation that we have, I could just tell like just the difference in the shift of perspective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they're super dope. And he's really good. He's good to her and for her. Like, and is the homie. And it's so interesting because I was talking to Sade today, and I was just like, I love being around couples who are so secure and like
Yeah.
we fuck with each other for real,
Right.
Because it was Casamigos and shit upstairs, right? So my
Right.
cup was empty, and I needed ice and shit. So Ann was going to the room to get something. I don't fucking know.
Right.
And I was like, well, I'm gonna come with you. And I went to the ice machine, went inside. No, I'm sorry. It was the mixer upstairs or some shit. So I poured it in my cup, and he doing whatever he doing, and we going back down. And we went back to the lobby together. And I'm just like, any other situation, it's like, why were they coming down
Exactly.
from the
Yeah,
hotel
exactly.
room or
Right.
you know what I mean? But it's
Right.
like, niggas fuck with each other for real. Like,
Right.
and it sucks that everybody don't get to experience that level of comfortableness.
Yes.
You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
Because I'm like, the fuck? Like, it didn't even cross my mind. Like, let me not. It was like, you going upstairs? Let me come with you.
Exactly.
Like,
On some
you know what I mean?
family shit.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
Right. But everybody used to be amazed. Everybody don't get to.
Well,
to have that.
her circle is very tight, and everybody that was
sure.
there is really, you're really family. Yeah.
It was. They did it right. Like, it was really, really family. He did a good job by just taking the lead on everything. Like, she didn't know anything
He's a
except for
proud
the
papa.
colors.
Yeah.
And to show up.
Right.
So it felt so good because y'all know planning shit. It drive you be ready for that shit to come and
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
And then for a man to be trying to do it, but yeah,
Yes.
shout out to them.
And shout out
Congratulations.
to Missy for helping with the DJ selection. Thank you. Cause she
Oh,
did
she
an
was cracking.
amazing job.
Gigi
She did-
Sweets.
Yes,
Yeah.
she kept that shit like in between everything.
Cracking.
And we had a crack in our little East Side.
Well, when
Long
he
Beach hour.
vocalized what he wanted, I knew that she would be the perfect person.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, she's very experienced. She's not only a radio DJ, but she's been in the game for over 10, 15, maybe 20 years now. She
She knew what
doing
to
this
play.
shit for
She
a very
played
long
something
time.
for a little bit of everybody, like every fucking body. That shit was nice.
Summertime in the LB. They were playing all that.
Right.
LBC.
Man, that shit was
Let me
like
hear you
East
say,
Side.
ooh.
They
Right.
played everything.
I love
Man,
it.
all the new shit.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
cracking.
I saw a video of Camila trying to crib walk. I was like, this
With them
motherfucker
wide
right
sales. I
here.
said, this is some hood shit.
you couldn't even tell that she was pregnant from the back.
No.
Her belly is just
Somebody
like,
inboxed me or whatever, like, I wish I was pregnant like that, like all belly. Like,
Yeah.
until she turned around, like, oh shit.
Right.
Exactly.
Dylan had her when she got an ultrasound. It was like, so the baby have a little bit of rolls. Dylan had like rolls in her back and shit, like at the ultrasound.
Healthy baby.
Right. This baby
Big old
is
baby.
so little, so it's
Petite.
like Camila just so tiny with her to be due in
Right.
like under a month. So shout out to Annie, Camila. We love you guys.
Yes.
All right, let's get into it.
Right. Well, we got a good topic this week.
We got good topics every week. Fuck y'all thought. No, I'm just playing.
Have your drink, bitch, because you chiming in, you chiming in.
Right, because my drink is mixed, just like this conversation.
I'm just done with you.
Well, we're going to talk about interracial dating. And I jumped on Twitter, I think whenever it was, a week ago, maybe 2. And I had posed the question, are black women still pressed that black men are dating outside of their race? Because, you know, they're...
I don't think we're pressed.
Pressed.
Right, it was the word pressed. But
I said the word pressed.
I see what you're saying, right.
Because I did see a situation. I was at Rouse, and it was kind of like, you know, it was a fine brother, like, and it's like, and you could tell women are like, why he ain't with one of us or some shit, you know what I mean? It's a lot of that, and kind of the stares at the woman, and she's feeling uncomfortable, and you could just sense it, like first of all, you're in the Ladera Center, bitch. This is where the niggas are.
The black family,
right? This is Black Beverly Hills, okay? So y'all need to be over there in Santa Monica somewhere, wherever. But
right, the more liberal side.
I'm sorry, not like that. We love you all,
we don't.
But it's kind of too, and I have so many different, views on it, because I feel like love is love, and there's no color to that. If you, rather they black, white, Asian, I dated a white boy before,
right?
And
How'd you like it?
I didn't see color.
Of course not. He's white.
Bitch, I'm about to get up. I'm tired of this. I'm not
joking.
Right.
Comedy style.
Right,
comedy style, guys.
Not transparency. I can't.
Oh my God, comedy style.
Okay, we didn't have sex.
Of course not.
Because you weren't probably. But anyway, okay, go ahead.
We just didn't go there.
You saw the person in the Ladera Center. Stay on that. And so, and the people they were getting stares.
Yeah, it was just, and I felt uncomfortable for them. I was just peeping.
You could feel it.
I can feel it. I was just peeping it, and a lot of the women surrounding them were just kind of like gawking. And again, in their brains, they're probably thinking like, well, why? And he was fine.
May I ask, like, how old was this gentleman?
He probably was maybe early 40s.
Oh, okay.
She was, he didn't look like, you could tell by the way he was kind of built, the way he was dressed.
What did she
a
look
little bit
like?
More mature. She was I don't know what kind.
Like bleach blonde, brunette.
She had a what was that? She had brown hair. She was thin. She had on gym clothes, so she came in there with a little sports bra. You know how they dress.
Oh, okay.
Like she was coming from yoga or some shit.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to say they all look. Not that they all look alike, but it was just kind of like the regular shit. I guess the brown hair,
right
down,
so, right.
yoga clothes on.
Right.
She wasn't ugly. She wasn't like an unattractive woman.
Right. But it's just are we pressed ultimately?
But I can sense that people were pressed, and I had and I've been that person too. Like, why aren't y'all dating black women?
Right.
Like, what is it about black women that your mama black, your sister black,
as a motherfucker?
And y'all be having the blackest of the blackest mamas and sisters and relatives, but y'all step outside of that to go date others. So what is it about black women that y'all? I
don't know what they think, but I would say, I know sometimes it can be a generational difference about the acceptance of it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Historically, it haven't worked out in our men's favor. Like our men were literally killed behind white women lies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a lot of historical shit around that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that may taint some people's thoughts. You know what I mean? For me personally, it's just when we're belittled on behalf of the next woman.
Yes.
When it's a preference, like I don't like black women because they're XYZ. When we're put down for someone else to be uplifted. Like if you happen to vibe with this person, then so be it.
Yeah.
But when you're literally trying to date someone else because you don't look at your own women as beautiful, you know what I mean? Then that's where I have the issue with, because it's like y'all will go date the bottom of the barrel white girl. You know what I mean?
Right.
But won't do the same for this girl. I'm not saying we're the bottom of the barrel, but when you date within your race,
aesthetic, everything. Right. Like if we're matching like for like.
Just even the aesthetic flow.
Right.
Like you guys put so much on what she needs to have, but then we'll go date a plain white girl. Right. You know what I mean? And then belittle black women. That's the part I don't fuck with. I don't rock with that.
I don't like too that it's sometimes too when I'm hearing about why they date white women is based off of y'all nagging. Y'all evil, y'all mean. It's based on like our personalities, and it's a lot of shit that we have to deal with as black women. Period.
Even still, because it's like you still can't speak in totalities because that's solely based on your experience, the women you chose, and for whatever reason that was. You know what I mean? So I just don't like that part. Fuck with who you fuck with, but just don't belittle us in the process if you choose to date the next person,
right?
Because it's a vast, it's just such a difference. You know what I mean? Like I don't like it. And I'll be quiet here because it'll just be a tangent because I've seen it. Yeah. We know people who've done it personally.
Yeah,
I won't say their names because they're still like family. But when they first came back from college, first it was where your light skinned friends at, and then he got with just a straight up white girl, and then even switched the way he talked. Like, who is this dude? You know what I mean?
No, we not doing
Somebody else we went out with for a birthday and just switched, they customer service voice got turned on. Like, who's you? Saw you in pictures with
Bob from marketing.
Right. You're in the picture with the whole clan and shit, only not the clan, not like that. But I'm just saying, like, when the way it just looks funny.
Yeah. Fallon, what are your views?
I feel like Mookie feel like it's an issue when, we're brought into it. What I think ends up happening is I feel like it is environmental. So there's a couple of different scenarios. You have those where it's the black men that date white women because they feel like it's a status thing.
Absolutely.
A sense of rebellion. A lot of this stuff is ancestral. It's passed down. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our black men and forefathers and ancestors did get lynched for things like that.
Yeah.
So maybe there's even like a subconscious rebellion, kind of like, look what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like a slap in the face, like, I'm holding my nuts type thing or whatever. So I think there's those type that date white women. And then there are some that grow up in certain communities.
Not even just white women, it's like Hispanic. It's all
women of other races. Yeah. Women of other races. But specifically, I think we're probably talking about white women in this particular situation. But then you have some that grew up in our neighborhoods, right? But they wasn't that gangsta ass dude that a lot of inner city women are attracted to because of the dominance and bravado that they project. So this may be the white man, oh my God. This might be the young black man that's into tech. He's into video games. He's into, his favorite show, anime or different things like that. He's really smart, a little quirky. He may even be funny, but, he may not have the coolest clothes, the coolest car,
so he's attracting,
the coolest lingo.
Yeah. He's attracting
so
others.
All throughout high school, junior high or whatever, like we wasn't looking at him.
Yeah.
We wasn't giving him no play, you know what I'm saying? So let's just say, for the sake of the conversation, that old boy that you seen at the store was that guy. Now he 40, fine, maybe he in the gym now, because all that other shit that used to be important in high school diminishes almost as soon as you leave.
Exactly.
So now he grown, none of those other barometers of success matter, but he's really, putting in the time. Maybe he's degreed, he's successful, he has the monetary value, he look good. And so he said, okay, well, y'all wasn't fucking with me now, so
let me go give me one of them.
And not only that, sometimes even the likeness of what they're into is the same.
That's what I was about to say.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I definitely know several black men that, have dated outside of their race or have dated white women or Hispanics or whatever, my father being one of them, based on what it is, based on what they're into. Like, I know it's two off the top of my head. They're into like,
goddamn,
girl, they're cute too.
Right.
They're into like snowboarding and fishing and, you know what I'm saying, whitewater rafting and stuff like that. A lot of stuff that the average black girl, and this is not to group, this is the average. Of course, there's exceptions to the rule, right? I'm not necessarily, might not want to do that. I may not want to go to the whitewater raft, and I might want to go, have a nice dinner and go listen to some live music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And not to say that I would never, but it's like we have our preferences. And sometimes women of other races, maybe because of the way that they were raised and socialized, are socialized to enjoy different things that we were not maybe exposed to or privy to because of our resources.
Yes.
So it's environmental, you know what I'm saying? It could definitely be conditional on that end. And in those instances, I tend to understand a little bit more. And adverse to that, if it's like a white girl who grew up in a black community. Mm-hmm. Like my dude, brother got a girlfriend or whatever. She's white. She's from Chi-Town. Mm-hmm. Like she white, but like she'll beat your ass. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like she not, the blonde lily white girl. Oh my God. And you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like she grew up probably not having shit either.
That's how Nicole was.
Right.
Camila, old friend Nicole. Yeah. That's how she was. She grew up Long Beach with the rest of
when you talked about the small circle earlier, I was going to ask about her.
She's out.
I'm good because I'm also curious too. Like on the flip side, like why do white women? Like, what do white women see in black men? Like,
what they see, girl.
Right, same thing we see. Mm. Yeah, and it's a flex for them.
They're amazing. I mean, we're amazing. I think I talked to my mom about that, and this is no diss to none of the other races, y'all. We got to have self-love and self-pride, y'all. We had too much time of neglecting who we are, so give us a pass. But I told my mom, I said, if we had guys knew, like, okay, let me just balance them out with like some curly hair or some kinks or something. If they had the long way, it'll be over for you bitches, and I'm just keeping it real. It'll be over for you bitches. Like my hair down to my cap, it's over for you bitches. Like really,
that's a wrap.
It's over. So. I'm just saying that to say, with our black men, they're just as resilient. Yes. They're just as, dynamic and godly, and this just shows in what they are physically and mentally capable of. You know what I mean? And they see that too. And, I think their men have their strengths too, but it may not be as fun or as exciting.
Yeah.
So, now they knocking at the door with that. But what I will say too, though, is what I feel like black men need to understand, especially the older that you get, like Christian said, love is love. Because at the end of the day, we really don't care. And a lot of these niggas that be dating women of other races or whatever, we probably wouldn't want to date them.
Right.
So I want you to find happiness. And I was one of them girls. That's why I brought it up. I didn't want necessarily like the square dude that I'm not into that. Yeah. So I'm not for you. You know what I mean? So find who you find. But, now I lost my goddamn train of thought.
I was waiting for it, too.
I'm always going off on tangents.
Well, I agree with you because with all of that, like, I do think some of it is environmental, and that's why I do think it's a little bit of balance when some people like, I'm going to send my kid to this all-something school. You know what I mean? Because there's still nuances to that, because then you're sending your kid to be one of three and experience a shitload of other things.
And that's different. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Problem. Yeah.
I think some of it is proximity, and interest. You know what I mean? And then you find people who are interested in the same thing.
Right.
And I have a theory: you spend enough time around anybody, you'll start to like them. Right. You know what I mean? If you share enough of the same interests. You know what I mean? Like, hence why work husbands and work girlfriends exist. You know what I mean? But I'm with you there. I do think that some of the things we're not necessarily interested in, some of the guys who the black girls didn't necessarily want at that time, they internalize that a little bit, whatever their upbringing was, they try to steer far away from whatever that was, and at the end of the day, some people just connect with who they connect with, and I'm fine with that. Like I said from the beginning, just don't belittle us in the process.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you're going to have a black daughter. You know what I mean? You're still going to pass that shit down. And at the same time, sometimes I do think about that. Like, you have this baby with this white girl, and if that child reproduces with another white person, your bloodline is done.
Exactly.
It's a wrap.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's just a way to shorten it for me. That's just the lens I look through it sometimes.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
The only thing that would maybe pass down is the name, but that shit came from him anyway. So it's just going right back to his rightful owner. You know what I mean? At that point.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's real. I was just going to say, I think it's something for men to keep in mind that everything is all good when it's on the surface. And when we're talking about, like we like snowboarding, we like going to go skiing or whatever. We play tennis every weekend. You don't want to get your hair messed up or whatever. You got to, wrap your hair up at night and all that. Whatever the surface level things are. Life will hit you.
Right.
You still black, baby. Whether it be you, your mama, your auntie, your cousin, your uncle, your brother, it will find you because this is the world that we live in. Yeah. So it's kind of like within that scope and within that space, I don't care who else you with, there's not going to be nobody to understand it to that degree.
Exactly.
And it's at a certain point where in interpersonal relationships, period, you want to be comfortable enough with a person to where you don't have to mention every single emotion that you feel. Sometimes they just get it.
Exactly.
They just understand. There's a level of understanding and compassion and empathy.
What we go through firsthand.
And not having to explain everything. Yep. And it's too much to explain.
Yeah.
It's something that's unexplainable. This is like genetic. This is in our DNA. These things are in our fibers of our being as far as just the black experience in this country. So a lot of men don't feel like, it's not that serious. It's not that serious until it's that serious.
Exactly.
So
Absolutely.
It's something to consider, especially if your reasons or intentions for dating someone outside of your race are superficial.
Yeah.
Because it will come to bite you on your ass.
Because a lot of niggas do think it's a flex. I got this. She bad. She da-da-da-da. And all of that. She foreign. She got the bone structure and all that shit until reality hits.
Yeah.
Until the shit hits the fan.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's one that I can think of off the top of my head, and we've known him for many years.
Is he somebody's brother that we know?
No, but him too.
Right.
Him too, and he not with her no more. Now it's just the child that remains.
She take him to court because they're good for that.
It's another one that we grew up with. We used to go out and hang out with him, and he into this whole thing or whatever where he date, you know, but he have sisters.
Yes.
He have sisters.
Did we hang out with him
back in the day?
Dub, where that shit took place?
So
you know what we're talking about, right, Chris?
Well, it's a couple. I mean, it's
Chris,
one.
you know who we talking about?
But his sisters.
I don't know. I think, but
you do, because we used to be like, he's somewhere with his thong sandals on the beach and shit.
Okay.
Yes.
Sold.
He, you know, like your sisters look very ethnic. You know,
and you go get the
and we had this is with black women, the noses, the skin tones, the hips, the lips, the everything that we have that makes us us. All of the women that I seen in your family, because I seen you post them, look like that. But your women don't. So that's the part that's kind of hard for me to digest. You know what I mean? And he, I think, is one of those ones who has definitely felt like that elitist type vibe.
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
I'm doing something.
Because he didn't start off like that.
No.
I don't know when that changed over time, but
I don't either.
In more recent years, he kind of started to really give off that air. You know what I mean? And that's the part where it's like, boy, I get you beat up. You know what I mean?
Get you beat up because you got on penny loafers. Now you a new nigga, like
right
boy,
on the beach with a scarf around your neck.
We see you with her, and then every time you see him with them, they look all sheepish and shit. Like, speak up, nigga. If you gonna do it, be bold about it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God. And I want to talk about too on the flip side of it, because this is kind of going back to me when I've experienced dating a white boy.
Right.
And so this particular white boy has kind of grew up around blacks.
Right.
And he's not trying to be black.
Right.
He just kind of naturally kind of gravitated, and it has that aesthetic and that vibe and that aura like how we do.
Right.
Because he just grew up around us.
Right.
But he is like white boy to the core.
Right.
But just grew up around black people. And this is a man that has never dated white women, which is interesting. And when you see his family dynamic, they're like white of white.
But he's just not into it.
I mean, he's never dated a white girl. He's always dated black women. Even when he was in high school, when he was in middle school, all his girlfriends have been black.
Smart choice.
So, right. So, and I asked him, like, why, you know, like, why haven't you, like, I'm just not interested.
He's just not attracted to them,
He's not attracted to him. I'm not interested at all. You know, and for me, I guess, I was like, I want to try something different. Because I felt like, of course, this is kind of like cliche, but I'm like, I'm tired of niggas. Like, let me try something different. Let me see if it's the same shit. Because he the same shit. Like,
right.
you running away from a man, it's the same shit. You're not
getting,
a nigga is a nigga. A man is going to be a man. They exude all the same shit.
Let me
You're
tell
not
you,
running away from nothing.
That's a
a
whole
man
fact.
I don't give a fuck if he's white, Filipino, Asian. A man is a man. And he still had them same qualities that I call myself running away from.
That's a fact.
It's the same shit. I'm like, you just like the rest of these niggas. Like,
let me tell you.
You just fair skinned.
I talked to my friend who shall remain nameless because he watched the show, and then if I say his name, then he'll know, his person will know that I'm talking about their friends, her friends. Because he told me the same shit. He was like, I don't get it, because, you know, that's some of his closest friends is white. You know what I mean? And he like, them niggas just as scandalous.
Yeah.
Like, they will hook up with your closest partner and be like, so what is, we just hooked up.
That might be worse.
And vocalize it. I mean, like, we're like just shady of the shady, like, and don't care. Don't care. It don't, because they don't view it the same way. Like, we look at sex as, that's the line.
Right.
Right.
They don't.
We
You know what
hooked
I
up.
mean?
We hooked up.
Right. We used to watch The Hills and see how they give it up.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? That shit is real. Like, that
With your best friend and shit.
And with no care. Like,
Right.
not even like, damn, that was a mistake.
Right.
Like, fuck. Like, I was just in the moment.
They looking at you crazy and shit.
Like,
I figure out, like, how we gonna break the news.
Like,
right.
Like, y'all got me fucked up.
Put the fuck up. Right. And that's
like,
it.
Don't care and move the same way. Just move with just such an arrogance air, because they already have this entitlement that comes naturally to them. You know what I mean? Where the woman is secondary. Like, they invented that shit, not our men.
Right.
They did.
Right.
So when it comes to women, it's just an object. Unfortunately, like, we could talk about and bash black men, but a lot of this shit we didn't invent.
Right.
A lot of shit we have to fall in line with. You know what I mean? I'm happy the rules are being rewritten now, but if we really talk about who the ancient men, the one who fucking write the laws and stop you from doing shit, it ain't our men.
Right.
You know what I mean? They
Right.
can't stop sticking their dick in certain places, but they damn sure ain't holding you back. They damn sure ain't the ones telling you can't have a fucking abortion. They damn sure ain't trying to control your body, other than what other they go in it. But for the most part,
Tell
like,
you
it's
how much
y'all
you can get
niggas, y'all
paid,
men,
tell you what kind
not
of job you
ours.
can have, what your
Right?
title could be.
How much you can make?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that ain't our man.
I
That's
could
them.
wear your
And
hair
that
to
shit.
work.
Why is the Crown Act just passing? That's not our men that's doing that. So when it comes down to it, they have a certain
Have you
entitlement.
dated
So
a white
they feel like, no. I like my
Open
meat
to it?
well done.
Dark and shit.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not mad at that. And that's another thing too. Like on the surface,
I'm still laughing.
like pink hot dogs and shit.
No,
I'm just
I can't.
don't.
I
know.
can't even watch white porn. Like that's how
I can't watch white porn either. Never. I cannot. I don't want to see. I don't want to see nothing
it's
else
pink,
but black.
red, like
Yeah, nah.
it ain't even there.
It's the-
even
it's
if it's
the-
big, it don't
The
care.
gesture for
it's
me.
big and white.
It's like the words for me.
Cock.
All the, like I'm not gonna even play no
Sorry,
games with
Claude.
that. It's I'm not gonna even play no games.
I hate the
with
word
that.
cock. First of all,
For
can y'all
real.
X
I
that
don't
word
like the
out of the
breathing.
How you feel? You
Can
know,
you suck my cock?
And you
Yeah.
are you louder than me. I like.
Yeah.
I need you to toughen up, bro.
Right.
That's not my style.
I need you to get some
Cock?
aggression
I
about
need
your
you to
shit because
toughen
the
up,
aggression
nigga.
is not aggressive.
That's
Take
all.
like what? This cock and shit. Like
Cock
come
is terrible.
on.
I don't know why y'all call it cock.
The
The
breathing,
word
the
cock
suction.
is terrible.
Oh my god!
Right.
Like
All that bullshit. Like no.
bitch, I'm going
It's
to
the
walk
quick pumps and
out.
shit. It's too much.
Woo.
The way that shit, the way the hair be looking, the
But,
ass crack.
okay,
and
wait.
shit.
Okay, so let's get some. Okay, so let's give
You
some.
can see every little detail. I don't want to see
Girl.
it.
Let's give some love to the
Pointy.
cute white boys though.
Mark
They go
Wahlberg
without
is always
saying.
been my
Mark
Wahlberg is like
Wahlberg,
my favorite white boy.
Brody
of all
Jenner.
time.
Brody Jenner.
Fine.
Brody
Still
Jenner.
fine.
What's his name? I forget it. I'll be twisting up his first.
Brody Jenner.
Is it Tatum Channing or Channing Tatum?
Either way, we know
I'm
who you're
back on
talking
Brody
about.
Jenner. Brody Jenner looks crazy.
No, I agree.
Like he looks crazy for a
But
white
he's
boy.
like captured fine. Like, damn, you didn't even age like milk.
All of the
Yeah,
aftershave and the
yeah.
5 o'clock
Fine,
shadow,
fine.
like fine.
you wouldn't even think that that's like the Jenner's brother.
He looked mixed or something like.
like
what, are
you wouldn't believe.
Yeah,
like,
no, he
why
looks
is it? How's
mixed.
it your sister? How is Kendall and Kylie your sister? Don't even
Literally,
seem like it.
legit.
You wouldn't even thought,
legit.
girl.
So just so him, yeah, I used to be in the Ryan Sheckler and shit, the skateboarder. You know, I used to.
yeah,
There was a couple of little white boys
yeah.
that I thought was like, you know,
Oh, they can get it.
because I like skaters. If I was to, if I was to date one, it probably would be like a skater or something because they
it's
dirty.
a lot
Remember
that can
from One
definitely
Republic and
get
shit.
it.
The whole group One Republic, like y'all cute.
So there are definitely some handsome white
Yeah.
boys.
For sure, they're not
Adam
all
Levine
out, but
is
no.
cute.
Adam Levine is handsome
He's
too.
cute.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
But it's
Jonathan
just-
Taylor Thomas and shit.
Not Jonathan Taylor.
When I was a child,
Macaulay
Home
Culkin.
Alone.
Don't get it fucked up.
Do y'all remember
Macaulay was cute back in the day.
No,
Home Alone?
Not Macaulay. Dog.
Macaulay was. He wasn't.
You know,
ugly.
Christian couldn't
He
watch
was
R-rated.
cute, like a little, like a
I was crying to watching My Girl.
Right, you
and
know
shit.
she couldn't watch R-rated back then. You know she had to stay right in that
little
lane.
racy.
Right.
Oh my god, not racist.
My Girl and shit.
Girl, I was crying watching My Girl the other day. Oh my god,
Not Macaulay, girl.
he was cute with his little
Girl.
glasses.
Bless his little heart.
Bless his
No,
heart.
seriously.
So it's a couple of them.
It is.
You know,
If you're interracial,
if you're interested,
Right,
If you're interested, please hit up
DM
_.
and show us the white boy summer because what's his name? I don't know.
Where are the fine white
What's
boys?
his name?
Malibu and shit.
What's
Girl, where are they?
Malibu Most Wanted and shit.
I took Yuri
Where
to
are
a
the fine white
volleyball
boys?
tournament. They're at the beach.
Wait, what is his name? Chet. What is that famous actor? What's the dude name?
Ryan Gosling?
No.
That's who all the other white girls like. Although I don't see
he
it.
played in fucking
You're talking about
Chet. The dude, his son acts black so much, but he's not.
Oh, Chet.
Yes, but what's his dad name? Forrest Gump and shit. What the fuck is his name?
Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
His
Chet
son.
Hanks or
Chet
something.
Hanks.
His son.
What's it? I don't know. What's
Chet Hanks look
Chet-
like he got like the
girl.
black vibe going. He
I need to check him out. I don't know who it is.
He look him up, honey. He
He's
And you know which
giving-
one we forgot to? Was it
He
Bradley
is-
Cooper? What?
Tom
Wait,
Hanks.
what?
No, wait. His son gives
You don't
like
know Bradley?
black culture karaoke. That's what he gives.
Okay, Chet. What now?
Hanks.
Chet Hanks.
Yes,
I'm
girl.
gonna
He was on the
Google
red
him.
carpet one time trying to talk in patois and shit. Like he trying to, he like one and all that. I'm like, really,
Bitch,
bro?
what is
Tattoos.
it?
Yes,
Stuff like that. Like,
yes.
boy, shut up.
He was
Chet.
he was a rapper. It was like white chocolate
Chet
or
Hanks.
something.
Bitch.
Yes, girl. He gives.
Oh, he's cute.
Girl.
Oh,
He's
he's
giving me
slang.
like Save the Last Dance.
He's
Girl.
slanging.
And he was a
cock.
whole
Let me
like
see.
white boy
He's
summer.
slanging cock.
That was his whole thing.
I'm a slapper.
And he dated black girls. His
I mean,
last one,
clearly.
his last one
Some of
stabbed
these
him.
are not giving though, but he's slanging cock. He got something to work
And it's a
with.
lot of white boys that like black women.
What is
Robert,
that?
Hank's son?
Robert De
Yeah,
Niro.
bitch, Just slang
Girl,
a
it's
bag or
giving-
five.
He is giving
what?
cock. That looks deep. That's the shit we be talking about right there. That's that shit. We don't want y'all to do this. Don't do it if you can see it.
Whatever.
That's not good to
See, but then there's certain kind of like.
If a nigga was doing it, then we'd be like, it's not. Is it giving?
See, sometimes I be feeling like they just got a little fantasy to conquer. Like, imagine having sex with a white boy who's like, hold some cotton or something. Like, excuse me?
Oh, this is girl.
Like, I just be thinking it's like fantasy driven. Not all, but some.
Fetishized.
Let me see.
Girl.
She stabbed him. So I don't know. She's giving me Tamar.
What?
On the Nina Sky side of the game. I'm just playing.
Oh my
she
God. Blood on
looks
leaves
right
and
here.
shit. Is that where we're going?
Oh,
my
yeah.
God.
Oh, God. Okay, it's too much.
Okay,
Anyway,
so
If
off
you
the
guys
subject.
know Chad, tell him we would like for him to come on the show.
If he really with this shit, tell him to pull up on Crenshaw.
Tell him to pull up
Okay.
on
If he really with
At
this
Miss
shit.
Poet
for real.
Studio, Morris Media.
We have a
Tap in
seat
with us.
right here. We want to know more about this white boy summer that you talked about.
I do want to bring a white boy on it. That would be great.
That'd be great. I don't know any.
I'll be out sick.
I don't know any.
I'm going to slide in y'all DMs and say I'll be out sick. Shut up, bitch. No, you're
Right.
not. Calling in and shit. Or not
Right.
calling in.
Well, cheers to all our white listeners and our white friends.
We appreciate
know.
We have any?
Yes, we do.
I'm sure we do.
girl.
I'm sure we do.
Our dad
I
said-
got one.
I got one. I got one. Look at this mother.
But she not really. But she like with the shit.
Tap in
though.
with us. Just tap in. If
She know what
if
time
you're not,
it
If you're
is.
non-black,
Hey,
tap in
sis.
with us.
Cheers, sis.
We got our
appreciate
Latinos.
y'all.
We love y'all. Y'all been fucking with us. Y'all
They
fuck
brown,
with
girl. I
us.
don't even count
Brown,
them.
right.
Right.
They
How you feel about them saying the word? Well, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Don't say the N word.
Don't say the N word.
Please don't.
You gotta be. Whatever you do to be a part of the black experience, you got to do it 100% or none at all. So if you're going to be on that side of the coin, then when it's time for us to ride, you need to be front line too.
Yeah,
and if you're
because-
not, then you should
Back
get
up.
beat up.
Yeah.
No, seriously, I just don't
If
like
you
it
are
because
for
it's a lot of households where y'all really don't like black people.
Yeah.
Y'all don't. Like, y'all are really not accepting black. I won't even say the other shit, but y'all don't accept everything, but y'all want to be a part of everything. That's my issue. Mm-hmm. Because every time is black issues that arise, I can see how dense a lot of you bitches are when it's time to like act.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Or
It's
speak
like,
up or say something
Right.
or have a voice or a
right.
stand.
It doesn't make any sense to me. So like, I don't like it. Don't say the N word. Be around whatever.
Period, though. And
But
yeah,
don't.
I mean,
Don't.
like when y'all say it, so.
And give us
We say it.
we can't
So?
have nothing but a word. Don't say it in my presence.
Yeah.
Do what you do behind your back, but don't say it in my presence.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
And I kind of felt like it's damn near disrespectful for you to be nigga in front of a bunch of black people.
I seen it.
Yeah,
I seen
like
it.
nigga.
Where
to
they
go-
didn't think we was looking,
Yeah.
and then when they seen us or whatever, girl, they tucked in.
It ain't even
And that's what you're talking about.
And keep it a buck. It's not even cool because it's a
Yeah,
lot
it's
of
not about-
non-white people who act very Caucasian in the workplace, and I don't like that shit. Like I don't like none of it. I don't because it's a whole lot of that I see, and I think it's super trifling. I think it's super whack, and I'll leave it at that.
Right.
What's tea?
Child.
So should we talk about the groupies with the title? Should we save a few minutes for that?
Yeah, let's give that some light. It don't need nothing but a couple minutes.
Speak on it, Moot.
It's just a lot of moving parts around the city, and there's a lot of people who think they stop traffic and are directed. And like when you're trying to get in anywhere, you got to show your credentials, your background. Who are you?
Exactly.
So it's a lot of start and stops. Like you can't gatekeep the creators. I feel like there's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of
And we've talked about
bullshit.
This. I know you're very like.
There's a lot of bullshit in the water, I should say. And I just don't like it. I don't like what I see. And we talked about this a week ago. Like, y'all niggas ain't even near. Everybody trying to get to the next play. You know what I mean? And I just don't like the way people are playing their cards, I should say.
Well, it's really the ones, just kind of from my personal experience, and not to cut you off, it's the ones with a little bit of status. It's the ones that kind of have just on a little bit of the forefront. You know what I mean? And then there's the rest of us kind of like right here. Like we're close and we're tangible. We're all within the same.
Let me say this.
But we're all.
Wait, that status is like Bitcoin. You give the shit value. Like, what the fuck is your status, bro? Because you did some shit?
Yeah. And that's just what it is. Unfortunately, that's just the climate that we're in, especially in this LA music scene, media, film, whatever. It's just that. You know what I'm saying? It's gatekeepers out here that's fucking weak. Like, y'all not even really gatekeeping.
Y'all not gatekeeping.
Y'all not even really gatekeeping. Y'all calling yourself gatekeepers and all the rest of this shit. Like, well, you got to come through me. But I really don't, though. Because I'll move around you and I'll surpass you.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
So it's like, and then the fact of the gatekeeper is if you see something or somebody moving, right? Your job is to be like, oh, he's dope, she's dope, pull them in. Like how we and let's
it's almost like you're using your influence to highlight the next person, but motherfuckers try to use it to stop it. You know what I mean? Because we discussed that too, like tastemakers or not. You know what I mean? Like a tastemaker, like you on to the next of what's already to come.
Yeah.
What's next was hot, not what's already moving and let me position myself next to it. Yeah. That's whack.
Well, let me say something on that end.
Tap in.
That's where I get involved. As an artist, you know what I mean? You cannot call yourself a tastemaker, an influencer of culture, a music head, somebody who is, you know what I'm saying, shedding light on new talent if you not showcasing new talent. You get no brownie points for supporting movements that are already in motion.
I agree.
If you have the kind of ear, though, where you're breaking records, and see, this is like old radio, this is old media, this is old school, you know, ethics and whatever, as far as artistry is concerned. I remember watching the Wu-Tang documentary or whatever, and it's the two white boys. I can't think of their name if somebody's ever seen it, the Wu-Tang documentary or whatever, like super big, prominent radio disc jockeys back in the day. And they weren't supposed to play the record or whatever. Right. Wu-Tang kind of busted through the door like, man, play this shit hot, woo, woo, woo. Like, no one had ever even heard of them before. Yeah. You know what I mean? And they broke their record on the radio.
And that's how it should be.
If you're not breaking new artists and putting people on to people that people have never heard of, I can't really say that you can hold and wear that title with such confidence and arrogance because, I mean, you latching on the movements that are already in motion.
I agree.
And you're crazy to think that the people that's already in motion don't know that you're latching onto them because they're already in motion. Exactly. People think people are stupid, which is crazy. I don't know what that's about. But
I'm going to have to agree with you. And I think that that's where it kind of, in the rare form, is that the couple of people that are still finding, like, okay, let me go to concerts, let me go to shows, let me go to Payday, let me pull up to media and music, let me see who the fuck is hitting the stage because I want that person. She may not have 10K, she got 3, but her shit is booming. Like, she on stage, she got stage presence, her records are dope. I went to her YouTube, I looked up all her shit on Apple Music, and all her shit is booming. I want her now,
and I'm gonna give them
an opportunity. I'm gonna get behind her, and I'm a producer, and I'm gonna get behind her. And I'm gonna produce all these records for her. I'm gonna give her a clean sound, upgrade on her shit. And then we're going to break the artist. Then we're going to break together. Right.
Because it makes a big difference. Like, we rally behind numbers versus talent.
And that's unfortunate, I would have to say. And I'm going to put it out there because I'm like, this has been sitting heavy on my heartbeat. That's the problem I feel like we had with LA. Coinciding off of what Fallon said. Like, I feel like a lot of the people that are influencers, tastemakers, or whatever we want to call them, are getting behind shit that's already moving.
A moving fucking train. Before, like, shit is the formula because it's proven to work.
Yeah.
We're trying to rewrite shit, but I'm sorry, shit just works. And I'm trying to quote Beyonce, but she mentioned that shit today. Like, I see a resurgence. I see some shit reversing in the music game. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And she like, fuck that. Yeah. I've been in the studio a year and a half, and finally I see a little bit of some shifting happening back to where it was, because shit's the formula because it fucking works. You know what I mean? We rally behind numbers that can be manipulated. And once upon a time, and I sound like the old head, you could be singing in a motherfucking mall and somebody will snatch your ass up.
Yeah.
Talent is fucking talent. I mean, you could be singing. They did the little fake modeling shows
on Venice Beach and all types of shit.
They were like, back in the day, like, you could fucking do a little fake ass Macy modeling campaign because it wasn't real models, just wearing shit that's in there, and people legit will get discovered. Like, people was really getting discovered. So I don't know if the A&Rs are lazy now, the labels are lazy now, or doing this independent shit made them hella lazy now, because you almost gotta grind and fund your whole campaign to album time.
Yeah.
You almost got to do the shit.
You have to really kind of know. And again, you have to be able to, like, you got to make them connections with the right person, because it's really about who you know.
And that's been a common
it's about who you know.
The industry is still.
And
really,
I hate that. I said,
because there's a lot of motherfuckers that's dope as fuck to me, but they don't really have the connections. They don't really know the right people. So it's like, are they really going to be able to kind of reach that capacity And I mean, I'm not going to say they're not going to reach it, but it's going to take a very, 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 very long time.
Damn, it's got a
Right.
very, very, very,
very,
very,
very.
I had to drag it out because it's the truth.
No, it is because it goes back to the time we're in now. Especially, it's a numbers fucking thing. Like motherfuckers don't respect the talent at hand.
Right.
You know what I mean? It goes into the tastemaker. Like you see some shit, like I can produce you. Like you got it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let's take care of the other shit. But because we're so you get an artist, the first thing you do, let me go look at their social handle. All right, they ain't like
and they automatically think that they don't have a certain status because of their numbers.
People who follow you would determine if you got the skill to make it or not. Like, no, the fuck it don't.
I've been told, because it's been all kind of stuff from 2011 to now. It's been I'm trying to sign you to my label, or and so the first thing that they come with is like, the same thing, like let's get you on a feature. All we got to do is just get you a feature with so-and-so, and then after we get you the feature, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. Trying to, like, people are not even connecting with the artistry. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't signed my name on no dotted lines. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, y'all niggas don't understand what I'm doing. And I ain't no fucking kid at the same time either. So at this point, I done did it on myself at this point. You know what I'm saying? If I'm going to get into some situation, it's going to be,
Yeah.
But yeah, like people don't understand the vision. And I'll say this too, rest in peace, Chucky Thompson. Chucky Thompson was one of the major players and producers of R&B in the early 90s. I definitely know he has credits on Faith Evans' first album, which is one of the greatest R&B albums to ever touch the industry. I think he's also worked on Mary J. Blige's album as well. And he passed today, I think it was. Oh, shit. So rest in peace to him. But just the type of ear and sound and knowledge of music that people had, like I even wrote that on my social media or whatever. Like everybody, and Faith Evans said that everybody, it's the parents' fault if the kids grow up not knowing what real music is. Yeah. Everybody mama didn't grow up, everybody didn't grow up with their mama in the kitchen cooking on Saturday and Sunday morning with the music and the jams playing or whatever, and educating their children on real music of all different kinds. And you know what I mean? I think a lot of the people that are entering into this music business are doing it for the wrong reasons.
I agree.
Clout and this, that, and the third, and we're gonna have an episode on that too, because I think some of y'all didn't
Part
have
2
y'all
is next season.
Part 2. I think some of y'all didn't have y'all run in high school, and that's the real issue. Y'all are taking y'all time now because y'all feel like, okay, I got a little influence or whatever. When you've been cracking, you've been cracking. Like, I think some of y'all have never been cracking.
Absolutely.
Like, and this is y'all time, and this is y'all moment.
So y'all running with this.
Y'all running with it.
Is what they feel is they out. Yeah. And I was talking to Brian, this was like a little while ago, about numbers and shit like that. And like, can you manipulate the numbers? And he like, no. Nigga, they know where every string came from down to what source it came from. Rather, it came from a computer, a phone. Like, this shit is all the way down to a fucking science. You know what I mean? Like, that shit ain't what it once was. Like, we can manipulate each other, but we can't manipulate the machine.
The machine,
At the end of the fucking day, they know who is doing what. Exactly. You know what I mean? Right. So a lot of the shit that we see, it's just to manipulate us. It's just to get the vibe going, to make them feel like it's something when that shit really not.
That really ain't even cracking.
That shit really not. And we could tell when that shit really not in you. Mm-hmm. It's obvious, especially in the R&B lane. Like, how? Like, I don't feel it. I don't even believe what you fucking saying.
Right.
You know what I mean? None of this shit, it doesn't make sense. And I'm mad because I feel like hip hop became a space where everybody have to be allowed. Mm-hmm. I don't like it. Other genres isn't like that. Yeah. Fallon can't put out a country record today.
No.
Old Town Road, let me
yeah.
tell you, Old Town Road, trolling or not, that shit only made it, not off talent, but because it was denied. And it was like, oh, they denied this black artist, let's rally behind it.
Yeah.
That's how that happened. Like, nigga, I'm sorry, no. Go study Garth Brooks before you try to get on our charts.
Straight up.
You know what I mean? But hip hop have to be accepting of everything, and that's my issue.
That's black people in general.
Right.
That's true.
Whatever is for us, it has to be. If it's
open.
for us, it needs to be open to the masses. Mm-hmm. Like, can't shit be closed off?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's almost we get punished. Are the elders in hip hop? They get ridiculed for trying to tell the young ones how to move a little bit. And I think that shit is whack. You know what I mean? We got people coming into the game who ain't studied nothing, but want to come in and say shit how it's supposed to be.
And that's down to artists, that's down to producers, that's down to radio DJs, that's down to media personnel, that's down to, record label heads, that's down to all of the different facets of the music industry have not studied and put in beyond 10,000. It's a lifetime, really, of work really studying this
Yeah.
shit, watching people, reading books, watching documentaries.
Yeah. Personal experiences, really going through
personal
the shit.
experiences, like
Ups
really
and
putting
downs.
yourself on the line. Like,
and we remember when it went from models to vixens, and the models will say, "Yo, this ain't how that shit go."
Right.
Even when Kendall tried to model, they like, it don't start like that. You need to go start at the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, nepotism is real. I ain't against it, because if I had a kid, I'm gonna put them right in position.
Straight
you know
up.
what I mean? But for the most part, it's kind of like nobody is studying the field they trying to get in. Even me with photography, I ain't just trying to jump into that shit. I'm studying under the motherfuckers I looked up to.
Yeah.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
you
Like
should.
I'm trying to really understand it for real.
right.
You know, and everybody not doing it, especially in this music space.
Right.
From what I see, niggas just.
And I think that's where the longevity is going to come in, that you are taking that time to research and really study your craft. That's how I think you're going to be able to have like some leverage in the game, because it's going to come from here. You know what I mean? You're going to have the
Absolutely.
real experience and the foundation.
Motherfuckers buy a camera and book me all in the same bio, booking information,
Right.
all at one time. Like, you don't even know how to set the camera for real.
Yeah.
You know what I
Wow.
mean? Like, come on now, you got artists who. Let me just shut up.
It'll go on and on and
Right,
on.
because it will go. We'll finish this
Well,
up tomorrow.
before we completely close out, like, I want to say something on the record, but off the record. I have locked in a monthly showcase at the Regency.
Yes,
Well,
I
speaking
heard
of
that.
artists,
So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm just going to spill a little bit of but I'm going to be bringing R&B every month.
Oh man, that's awesome.
So I'm going to just leave it
all
there, right? I'm
pieces
just
of
going to
that.
leave it there.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what's missing. And of course, I know on the underground level of music, we have Payday LA, who showcases a lot of artists, rappers, more so on the rap scene, more on the hip hop scene. And I want to I'm never trying to step on toes. And me and El Prez, we going to link with this particular project too. But I want to bring the R&B side of the game.
Absolutely.
So this is a
we're
stage.
gonna be doing a monthly thing at the Regency. I'm really looking forward to that, because I want people to come out, whether with your homegirls, with your man, you want a date night, or for some solo show. I want people to come out, listen to some R&B music, vibe, dance, and then also discover some new talent.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's gonna be
And this is
Much
great.
needed.
So if any of you R&B acts are out there, hit the stage and start practicing. Get that shit out. Fallon will tell you that crowd, that fear shit is real.
And it's
right?
not dead. That's some of my favorite music.
No, I mean, it's not. It works both ways.
Yeah.
The artists could come out, and this is practice for them. This is
Yeah.
let me get in front of a crowd, because it's hard to get in front of one person, let alone all eyes on you.
Yeah.
So I would say, come out, submit your music. You know,
Yeah, I want to
and-
do an open mic. I want to be able to implement people that just want to come and show up. Even if it's a poem, whatever, a cappella, you know, that's dope too. Implementing that.
Scatting and shit.
That's scared. I want to hear all that shit. Bring it. This will be the time and the place.
Right.
But yeah. Details coming soon.
Oh, wait, and before we close out, me and Chris been talking about our 03 class reunion. So I put
This
it
is
Right around
when?
the corner. We just talked
2 days ago.
No, but we.
Oh no, we've been
mentioned it.
talked about it,
Yeah.
but we talked about the
So you
fact
know,
that it's
01 just had
coming
theirs.
up.
I saw
Did you
it,
see that?
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's coming up. So I put on one of my socials, like, we going up. I'm thinking destination, so we can rekindle some old flames or something. I said. I just threw it out there. I know we ain't really
Class
going
of
to the
03,
destination,
tap in.
but let's have some fun.
It's gonna be us and all niggas. We ain't getting
no, that's
still
a
cool.
fact.
None of
That's a fact.
I said
Ain't
the
cool with
process is
nobody.
open, but we gonna have some
Me
fun.
and
Let's
Sade.
start planning this shit. Let's start planning
We
this
gonna be
shit.
on the party bus, 'cause, you know, if you on the in crowd, you gonna be on
We
our
low key want to
bus.
spearhead it and shit, but
There will be no performances, no performances,
Were there performances?
but there might be.
Trying to perform.
You cannot rap your hot 16 at this
Bitch,
event.
it sound like you talking to somebody specifically.
No artists.
cut.
We ain't.
You cut it.
No performing. Do that shit outside, but you can't perform in.
Freestyle Fridays and shit.
We are our hometown favorite because we the shit, and we out.
Peace.